What I'm doing next, BB, is you had a great run of it up there. I'm actually filming a play version of Southern Baptist Sissies, like the old Playhouse '90s style, where
Wow.
we honor the theater, but it's going to be. We've just not been able to do that film ever because of the expense, and
Mhm.
I'm going to put the play back up and through Indiegogo, we're just launching it today. Actually, we're going to raise the funds to do this very important story that has, for years, has been helping people who were like me, raised in the church and had, so much
Mhm.
damage as a result of that. So, so
You
that's what's next as well. And I've got, I've got Ann Walker, I've got Newell and Rosemary Alexander in that as well. A lot of the original. I've got Leslie Jordan back
Oh,
as
wow.
Vicky,
Yeah, and that's a real
and
good friend of yours, I know.
yeah, Leslie is just brilliant in the role of Peanut. And but they did it. They did this play at the new conservatory with Ed Decker up there, and it was a beautiful production. I went up to see it, so I'm excited about that. We're filming it in January. So,
What?
and I've got Willem Belli in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's playing one of the sissies. Guess which
Wow.
one?
Well,
The
I
drag
have to
queen.
reach out to him about that one because he was just up here not too long ago actually, doing some stuff. I don't think he was actually performing. I think he was just here checking things out. But
He's
what
a man.
yeah,
He's
what's
a
interesting
man.
though with what you just said, because you talked about Indiegogo, and I recently spoke with another director who was also utilizing Indiegogo to raise funds for his project. And that has been really interesting to me, how that type of thing has actually really made a difference in how many indie films we are now beginning to see because of the ability to raise money from like a public. I mean, someone who has $10 can now be a contributor to a film project, which just opens up so much more for you indie filmmakers. How's that
Well,
work?
it does, and what's great, I mean, I'm so fortunate, and this morning on my Facebook, I said, I want to thank my employers, my fans. You
Mm-hmm.
guys are great bosses
Mm-hmm.
because they truly are those that they allow us to do what we do, and they pay for our merchandise. They come to see our shows. And my first show, my Dale Shore's My Sordid Life, I actually did it through Kickstarter,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a wonderful way you can give away your DVD. I mean, not give away in a way, but that the prizes are your DVD and your they can be a featured extra or whatever, and it just gives them an opportunity to be a part of it,
Yeah.
and we're just grateful that we have those. What great, well, it's good money making too for Amazon and all those
Right.
who
Exactly.
created them. But it really is good because lots of documentaries are being made that wouldn't be
Yeah.
made, lots of small features that would not normally not be made,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, Girls Will Be Girls Part Two is coming out because of a Kickstarter campaign. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's a great thing.
And it's not even limited to, even like I said, for films, but I even know independent recording artists are also utilizing those types of projects for album productions and things of that nature. Even top people like Saida Garrett, who of course is known for her Man in the Mirror with Michael Jackson and Quincy
Right.
Jones and whatnot, and that's how she um, first started out to work on her next project. So a lot of independent artists are having the opportunity to do that, and I think that's kind of wonderful. But before I let you go, and we will definitely hit on the date for your appearance here once again to remind folks. But um, is that you have, I want to get back to some of the roots. I remember how outspoken you were about marriage equality, and still are. And I want people to understand how you still feel about that, um, um, regardless of how your past marriage worked out. But you have gone through a couple of marriages, and what's so interesting, you've gone to 2 marriages with both a man and a woman. So that's kind of, if you're talking about equality, that's the best.
Woman, a 10-year marriage with a man. I guess a midget's next. I don't know, you know. But
yeah.
The way I feel about it, and I was, you know, I have to say that was one of the things that, quite frankly, it was embarrassing to me when it happened because we were sort of the, you know, the poster couple for gay marriage, and we were both on the marriage equality boards, and I still am. They asked me to stay on the board, and I gladly did so, even though I was going through this, and you know, I made a statement. I said, you know, we deserve all the rights that straight people have, and one of those rights is also to divorce. Certainly wasn't my choice, this divorce, and I would have not wouldn't have happened if it were just up to me. But there was no negotiation with that, so you know, I had to accept what he wanted or didn't want, I guess, and then you move forward in your life, you know. But in that, I still believe that we all have the right to get married, and I'm going to continue to fight for that. And if people want to write me nasty letters about it, like I got, you know, I read a letter in my show that somebody wrote me, some nasty asshole wrote me this letter. Basically, really, you think you can preach about gay marriage and I'm like, so in my show I always go, first of all, where's my straight man? I always have like one in the audience. I go, have you ever started a letter with really, I mean, because already this guy's a closet queen.
Okay.
But you know, he just attacked me so vehemently about having failed at my own marriage and still preaching for marriage equality. And basically, I just, you know, used my big words and said, "Fuck you."
Right. Well, you know, and putting aside what our rights may be, personally speaking, because this has been the second union. What is your personal belief, though, in actually marriage itself?
Well, I think, you know, as I say in my stand-up, and when I talk about it, and I do talk about it, I go, it was good until it wasn't. And I think that's the way it is with a lot of relationships. Sometimes that's the way it is with friendship. And you know, I have to say this is a really hard time for me right now because my anniversary's coming up. That was October 26th. He left on November 21st. My birthday's coming up, which was just shattered last year because it's December 3rd because of this. And it's a difficult time for me because, I mean, you know, no matter what happens, love does not die. Love is not killed. And I do love Jason and loved him deeply. And I have to say, though, that, you know, time will tell. But personally, at this point in my life, as much as I'm supporting the right to marry and people's right to marry, I don't feel that it is something that I will probably go through again. I just don't know. It was just shattering to me. It really was. I just didn't think that this was a possibility, and it was, and I don't know how to trust that again.
And marriage is like anything else that we pursue in life, whether it be a job, a career. I mean, you just don't know. It's almost like it's a crapshoot, just like anything else. And
it's exactly right.
You know,
and there are two people. There's two feelings there, and you may not be on the same page, and that's what happened with this. I wasn't on the same page, and but do I regret the marriage? Absolutely not.
Great.
Do I regret some of the things that happened in the marriage? Absolutely. And do I regret not paying better attention? Because I think sometimes our need to go forward with our careers, and we went through such a hard time with the series and everything, and I think sometimes the focus became much more about survival and that next quest and that next movie and that next, you know, tour or whatever, and we forgot to, or I should say I forgot to relationship a little more carefully and guard it with you know
Mhm. Mhm.
the respect and the integrity that that I feel it has. So
Well, I just think
anyway,
that you will. I mean, thank God that you do have the things that you do to help, because I think sometimes when you go through those types of things, it's things like comedy and being able to look at things in your life, which your stories do, in a lighthearted way, so to speak. I mean, you're not making fun at those events, but it just goes to show that the things, people always ask what comes first. Does, the reality come first and then a TV show, or is it the reverse? And of course, I think it is. Our lives are those comedies sometimes. Our lives are those things that we eventually do see on TV. Those are spitting images of things that do happen in people's lives. And you've been able to, I think, probably make it through this time because of the projects you've been working on over the last 12 months.
well, sometimes I feel like that I've just been, it's like it's almost like I've just been running so fast and doing so much, and possibly um, that was my way of coping
Mm-hmm.
with this amazing period of sadness,
Mm-hmm.
But I, I did it, and I'm doing it, and I say in my stand up, I go, we go for, you can go forward,
You
you
can.
can go forward, and you can still be in the process of forgiveness and not forgive. We always get to this. Everybody tells, oh, you can't go forward unless you forgive.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be angry. Well, it's just bullshit. We have to experience these. Even my ex was like trying to get me to be less angry for a while, and the anger does not serve us. And I'm like, really? Because I think Alanis Morissette sold about 33 million fucking copies of an album because she was pissed off.
Oh, and let's not forget Adele too. Her
Well,
music is all
Adele
about.
was all about sadness. And it's so funny you brought Adele up. I have a whole section about Adele in the show.
Oh my
And
gosh, I can't
oh,
wait to hear that.
it's great. I'd let you.
Well, okay, let's remind the public again. It's November the 2nd, correct?
No, November's the 2nd at the Raz Room. It's at 10:30, and that's a Friday night, so you can sleep in the next day. And Betty Buckley performs at 8 o'clock, so I'm telling everybody she's opening for me.
It's gonna be wonderful. Double Texas stand down right there.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people, actually, a lot of my fans are going to see Betty at 8 and staying for my show.
I
So
think
it'll
that's
be,
great.
you know.
Well, Dale, I
So
thank you.
and you can get tickets, at the Raz Room, of course, has their website, but the easy way to just find everything about me is go to for ticket-wise, delshores.net, N-E-T, or you can find me on Facebook, and it's Del Shores Fan Club. And I'm a big old self-promoter, so
Yeah, and you're big on Facebook too. I mean, that is definitely a social media that you use a lot.
my Facebook page has become a crazy place that a lot of people love to congregate, and we
Mm-hmm.
rant and we talk, and we get a lot of
I just want to thank you again for spending some time with me today, and I look forward to seeing the show as I've seen the previous ventures here in San Francisco.
and I would love, because I'd love to see you. I love you.
Okay, I love you too. Okay, Dale.
Baby, thank you.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you all for joining me here on the Celebrity Chat Room. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Dale Shores. I hope you get an opportunity to support him in the work that he does, not only as an activist, but also as a wonderful artist, putting out some wonderful product for all of us to enjoy and hopefully get something out of. But I do look forward to you visiting. I will look forward to you visiting me once again on the Celebrity Chat Room.